It's time for the buzz with the Queen Bee on the Devin Dixon Show.
Welcome back. It is The Drive. Yeah, let's get to some wild stories in sports you might have missed this week. And to do so, we bring in Rachel, the Queen Bee, in to the TDS Cable for Business Studios. And Queen Bee, greetings and salutations. How are you on a throwdown?
I'm great, but that Bachelorette conversation was cracking me up. I'm dying. And the best part is my dad listens from New York, and he started trying to call me right after he heard you guys say that because he's been obsessed with trying to convince me to go on that show forever. So I'm sure he got very excited. So, Dad, stop calling me. It's not happening.
Well, Andy just is looking up right now, the producers. He's trying to look for a casting near us here or somewhere down in the Los Angeles area. So we are going to do everything in our power.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. We want you to break the trend. We want to bet
everyone.
30% on happily married couples from The Bachelorette. Yes. Yes. All right, let's get to the real reason we got you on the show, and that's to update us on some sports stories everybody might have missed in the sports world. What's our leadoff story today?
All right. Can we please talk about the Robin Rex Ryan story? I'm sure you talked about it, but how much I hate Rex Ryan. Please. So have you talked about this a lot?
A little bit. We mentioned the choking, and we mentioned that, there's an investigation, but we haven't dived into it. We've watched the video. But we haven't spent 2 hours on it.
All right. That's probably good. He doesn't deserve that much time. So there's no charges right now presently outstanding, but the reason it probably happened why Rex and Rob Ryan got in a fight with this bachelorette party is because apparently they went up to the women and complimented their feet. And as we all know, Rex Ryan has this weird quirk with feet, and basically the guys that were with them got pretty upset because they were getting slightly handsy. So of course, the reps for the Ryans are like, it was unprovoked.
Yeah,
I highly doubt that. Let's be honest.
Do you think that charges will be coming for Rex Ryan?
I don't really. Out of anyone, it would be for Rob Ryan because he did grab the other guy's throat.
Yeah, that's true. Got my Ryans mixed up. That's not hard to do.
Yeah, wrong one.
Well,
Does it really matter? They're interchangeable. They both kind of suck. Fine. All right, we're going to talk about poor LeBron James. So, obviously these guys...
Wait, time out. Poor LeBron James. For some reason, that doesn't resonate with me when you just say poor LeBron James.
No, it doesn't resonate. Because at this point, you can see why sometimes, especially when things are going bad, that these guys don't want to do these interviews because they get asked the dumbest questions. Like, these reporters are not thinking about it. After the Cavs lost Game 2, he's, doing, an interview, and the reporter goes, LeBron, is this a case where you need to defend home court at this point? LeBron goes, well, are you a smart guy? He goes, I think so. He goes, you think so, right? So we don't defend home court. What happens? Guy goes, yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. He goes, no. LeBron goes, I'm asking you. He goes, well, yeah. Then you guys are getting swept. LeBron goes, all right, so that answers your question. And now he's wasted all this time.
But you know what? I actually compliment LeBron on the way he handled that. Zach Lowe normally...
he handled it perfectly.
He did. And it's hard. We were talking about this, and I've been in, locker rooms, and you get a little gun shy, and then all of a sudden the mic's there, and you're formulating this question, or should I go with this question? And then all of a sudden the mic's in front of your face, and not every question is perfect, just like not every performance LeBron steps on the floor is perfect, right? So they have off days just like anybody, and I actually think LeBron let him down, and it made for good media coverage, obviously, of the media, which is kind of a nice role reversal for a change, because the media is the one usually portraying everything, and they got portrayed a little bit in a poor light this time around.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, LeBron, that's why I said poor LeBron, because he's already annoyed and he's just shaking his
you make
head.
millions of dollars, you have to do an interview. You get asked a dumb question, you go to the next question. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal.
But if you're going to get a job as a reporter, ask something a little bit better.
Just get your bags packed and get ready to go fishing, LeBron. Just get ready. All right, let's get to our third story here, Buzz Time, and then we got some Buzz Time trivia coming up in just a bit. Keep your listening ears on. We want your phone calls in just a few minutes.
All right. So the Mets have had a weird season so far. There's just all these bizarre things that have happened. We talked about it last week too. So this most recent one this week, they've become certainly the only team in history to return to the field at the top of the 7th inning after the 7th inning stretch had already taken place at Citi Field, complete with the singing of God Bless America. So basically, the umpires determined that turning into double play, it had to be relayed. It was anyway, there was a weird call made. So they come back on, and they played Take Me Out to the Ball Game again. The Mets had to come back on and still lost, and it was basically just a mess. The whole thing was just, what just happened? Everyone in the stands going, we don't really even know what's going on. All we know is the 7th inning is back on, when it shouldn't even be the 7th inning. Yeah. Nobody really knows what happened. But the Mets have had a really brutal season so far. That's all I can say. I feel bad for them. In umpire screw-up, the umpires during the Rays White Sox game this week was bizarre also. They declared a home run, which clearly was not a home run. And it shows the ball didn't hit one of the rings, at the field, and somehow it dropped back down. The catcher went the wrong way, and the outfielder, went the wrong way. And so the home run was declared when there was no home run, and it counted, even during the replays.
I didn't see this. Was it blatantly bad? I mean, obviously you're making.
It was a blatantly bad call. So it's Kevin
What's the point of the
what
is the point of the replay?
Yeah, no. They even after the replay, which clearly showed that wasn't a home run, it still stood as a home run. It made no sense.
I don't know where to go with this story. I guess they blow calls all the time. I missed this one on MLB Tonight.
The umps thought the ball hit one of the rings and just fell down. And if I guess it hits one of the rings, it's automatically a home run. Except it didn't. It just kind of fell flat.
Wow.
And no one caught it.
All right, let's get to a couple more stories here in the buzz.
All right, a Bills corner. So we'll start with getting these organized team activities for football. It sometimes is a pain for some of the NFL players. So, Packers corner Devin House had to hitch a ride from Minneapolis to Green Bay after his flight got canceled. But now Bills cornerback Sharice Wright took an Uber from Chicago to Buffalo to get to his. And no one really knows why he did this. It took 8 hours. He spent almost $1,000. But nobody knows why he did this. Why would you take an Uber?
Maybe he didn't want to drive. Maybe he didn't want to rent a car. Maybe he wanted some company. I don't know. I saw this. He did tip him handsomely, though, and this Uber driver probably made
$300 tip.
That's pretty good.
But what a weird story.
I love this story, though. Why is this got to be weird? I mean, maybe he was drunk and he had to get there and sober up, and he didn't want to drive. Maybe it was a smart move.
Well, I think it shows commitment, too, because he had to be there. Does. He can't catch a train. Maybe there's not a bus or something he wants to take, so he commits to paying, $1,000 to get all the way to Buffalo?
Yeah. It is an odd story. I'll give you that, but I love this story, actually.
That's why it belongs in the buzz.
God bless you, Uber.
Okay, Andres Blanco. He is with the Phillies. And for the first time, they brought him up in the majors to, pitch. He threw 8 fastballs, except that they were all in the low 70s to high 60s, and they were so slow. The MLB Game Day marked them as knuckleballs, but Blanco actually said post-game that he was attempting to throw fastballs. What? A 60-mile-an-hour fastball or 60-something in the majors?
I think I could I could get on the radar gun, and I think I could still throw 160 miles per hour, even with my arm, as weak as it is.
What does that tell you?
Yeah. I'm a Major League Baseball player, that's for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Hello, high A ball, here I come.
There we go.
I love that story. Good story. That might be my favorite story of the day right there. I did not see that one. Good digging. We'll get to our final story and then some Buzz Time trivia coming up. What's our finish? What's our big finish here, Queen Bee?
All right. So there was this bird in the outfield during the Diamondbacks and the Padres. Bird's chilling and almost gets scooped up and hit by the ball. Paul Goldschmidt reaches down literally within inches of this bird, throws it, and the bird doesn't move, but he falls off the glove. And it's the same kind of bird, they think, a mourning dove that, Randy Johnson disintegrated in Arizona in 2001. But this bird, despite almost getting manhandled, still chilling on the field after. I'm going to go with that's not the smartest bird ever. What What on earth? Like
They call it bird brain for a reason. It can't be very big. It can't be very smart.
Man. And so, obviously it wasn't as great as 2001 where you're going, what just happened? But, these birds. Killing me.
Yeah. I remember the bird that ran or flew out in front of Randy Johnson's fastball, yes. And I also remember the roller coaster that opened and Fabio. Remember Fabio? Some of you might not, but he got hit on the front row of the roller coaster. He was doing a promotional for this grand opening and took a bird off the schnoz of
I did hear about
his pretty face, and it was all bloodied up. It was pretty, yeah. There's been a lot of bird incidents over the years. All right, that is the buzz in the books. We'll take a timeout. We'll get to your phone call, 673-9398, 673-9398. We'll play Buzz Time Trivia when we come back with the Queen Bee. Yeah, welcome back, everybody. It's the Drive Buzz Time Trivia today, brought to you by our friends at Desert Palms. And we got a nice little prize package. Anybody that gets a correct answer is going to get a free month membership to Desert Palms and $20 at Pepper's Cantina. So if you want to play, we'll get to as many contestants as we can, 673-9398. Let's meet our first contestant, and welcome to the show. What is your name?
My name's Steve.
Steve. All right, Steve, you're one-on-one with the Queen Bee. Good luck. You're going to need it.
All right. Thanks, man.
Today is multiple choice. These are gettable.
Okay.
So
all right. Level the playing field.
In honor of what's going on with the NBA Finals right now, its biggest sports blowout is the topic. Okay?
Okay.
In 1940, the Washington Redskins were embarrassed during the NFL championship game. Which team defeated them 73-0? The Chicago Bears, the Atlanta Falcons, the Kansas City Chiefs, or the New York Jets?
Ooh.
Well, Redskins are NFC, so don't go with the Chiefs or the Jets. Go with an Well, no.
Why are you helping him?
Well, I'm not helping him. I'm thinking now. I'm not helping you. Forget what I said because this was 1940. The divisions were different. I apologize. You're on your own.
All right. I'm going to guess Jets.
Incorrect. It was the Chicago Bears.
The Bears. All
right.
Thanks, Steve-O. Appreciate the phone call. All right, 673-9398. If you want to play along, phone line opened up there with that incorrect answer. Let's go back to line 2, and welcome to the show. What is your name?
Randy.
Randy, here we go.
In college football during the 1916 season, Georgia Tech thoroughly embarrassed which other college team with a 222-0 blowout. They would never allow that now. Knoxville College, University of Wyoming, Mississippi State, or Cumberland College?
Mississippi State.
Incorrect. It was Cumberland College.
Yeah, go with the one you've never heard of. They lost 222-0. Couldn't have been the Pokes from Wyoming. All right, thanks for the call, Randy. Gee, Merry Christmas. Oh, we lost that line. 673-9398. And let's go to line 4. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
Bobby.
Bobby. All right, Bobby, here's your question.
All right, Bobby. Which NBA team coached by Lenny Wilkens in the 91-92 season blew out the Miami Heat 148-80 in a game? Was it the Celtics, the Cavaliers, the Spurs, or the Lakers?
I know it's not the Lakers. Celtics.
No, it was actually the Cavaliers.
Wow.
That was another choice.
Ironically enough.
Thank you, Bobby, for the call. All right, 673-9398. Let's go back to the phone lines and meet our next contestant. And what is your name?
It's Joe.
Joe. All right. ISO Joe, one-on-one with the Queen Bee.
In Oriole Park at Camden Yards in 2007, the Baltimore Orioles were completely embarrassed by the last-place AL West team, losing 30-3. What team put it to the Orioles? The Angels, the Detroit Tigers, the San Francisco Giants, or the Texas Rangers?
Detroit.
Try the AL West team, yeah.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Incorrect. It was Texas Rangers.
Texas, the AL West team, man. He's trying.
Hey, hi.
And he was trying to help so bad. Oh, Ryan was screaming into his radio mic, which is not turned on. We're not running hot here. We're not running hot here.
No, but I mean they're multiple choice.
No.
I would say that one was very gettable.
Very gettable.
Yeah.
Very gettable. Not happening, though. Let's go back to the phone lines. We're not done trying. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
We're going.
Jason.
Jason, help us out here. We need a winner.
Trying.
Which 1944 National Hockey League team
44.
showed up for a game against the Detroit Red Wings, but were so transparent that they lost 15-0? Was it the Montreal Canadiens, the New York Rangers, the Toronto Maple Leafs, or the Minnesota North Stars?
Big Apple.
Oh, man. I'm going to say Minnesota.
No, it was the Rangers.
Dang it.
New York Rangers.
I said Big Apple. Ugh. Trying to throw a subtle hint there. I don't think he heard me. Let's go to our next contestant. And what is your name?
This is Bobby.
Bobby.
Ready again.
All right, we'll give you another shot. You're not scared. I like the persistence. Here we go.
In the 1963 NCAA men's basketball tournament, which team set a margin of victory record by defeating their opponent 111-42 in the first round of the tournament? Was it Oklahoma State, UCLA, Loyola University Chicago, or University of Miami?
UCLA.
Incorrect. It was Loyola University Chicago.
111-42, Loyola,
Brutal.
Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
That was not
It was
gettable.
63.
I don't blame Bobby
There's
one
only
bit.
4 choices.
I know. Go with the one that seems the least obvious. All right, let's go back to the phone lines and did another contestant here on the drive. What is your name?
Tom.
Tom, thanks for hitting us up, buddy. Here we go.
Maybe I'll do a little bit of a softball. Let's see if anyone can get this. The Belmont Stakes is the third leg of horse racing's Triple Crown. Which horse won the 1973 race at Belmont Park in New York by an amazing 31 lengths to win the Triple Crown? This is gettable. War Emblem, Secretariat, Funny Side, or Dancer's Image?
Secretary.
Thank you. Thank
There you go.
you.
Softball.
Pay that
Like
man
the
his
softball.
Yes. Pepper's
50 mile per hour
Cantina,
fastball.
$20 gift certificate, and a 1-month pass to Desert Palms Health and Fitness Center. Tom, it was Tom, right? Yep. All right, Tom. Well done. Come get your prizes. We got a winner, guys. Should we just end on that note, or should we try to make? We got to see if we can get a streak. We have to see if we can get a streak. We got a couple minutes of the show left. We got to try at least one more.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the show, and hello. What is your name?
This is Larry.
All right, Larry. Here we go. We're riding a hot streak. We're one in a row here.
This is going to be harder, though. In 1897, the
Oh.
National League Chicago
You have
Cubs-
whoa, time out. Give me something pre-1900.
Post 1900.
Post 1900. Do you have something?
All right, I'll give you a 2009.
Thank you.
2009. How's that work?
That's way
You're welcome.
better. We can remember that
In a
one.
controversial,
We were live.
Any harder. In a controversial USA girls high school basketball game in 2009,
Girls
which team
basketball.
defeated? Hey, you asked for a post. 2000. Which team defeated their opponents 100-0 in a game? Jordan High School, the Covenant School, London School of Arts, or Jennings High School for girls?
Let him use a 50-50 double D. Let him use a lifeline.
Okay, it's either the Covenant School or it is the Jennings High School. Go with one of those two.
Jennings High.
No, it was the Covenant School.
We got our winning streak up to 1 on Buzz Time Trivia. Wow. That's all the time we have for Buzz Time Trivia. Queen Bee, as always, tough to win against. We'll see you next week, Rach.
See ya.
Wow. We got something post-1900 at least, and it was high school girls basketball. Yeah. I mean, what is the guy to do? We had one winner. Tom, you should hang your head high. You should go home and tell your wife and kids about that one.
What did he get, Secretariat?
Secretary. So what? Not everybody follows horse racing. Not everybody has seen that movie. All right? I'm just saying. Andy, I got one for you. You ready? Which NBA team, coached by Lenny Wilkins, blew out Miami?
She asked this one.
Oh, were you listening?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the Cavs, right?
Dang it.
I wouldn't have gotten it. I wouldn't have gotten any of those.
Oh, I was trying to repeat one to see if you were paying attention because you were snoozing over there. You weren't even awake. Come on.
I just got depressed for the listeners after the first three.
I know. Hey, Provo Open first round today. I wanted to update you because we got some names on the leaderboard you might be familiar with. Gian Sekawan is leading at 600 with three other guys. There's a tie for first with 4 golfers. But Clay Ogden is 500, just one shot back. And Dusty Fielding shot 2 under 70 today, so he's tied for 11th and certainly only 4 back in the mix of this 54-hole tournament. So Provo Open this weekend should be fun. Game 5 tonight, pivotal Game 5, Predators and Penguins. Let's get the staff picks tonight. I am going with Smashville. I like Nashville. They were like 31 before the season to win it. And here they are, tied 2-2 with Pittsburgh. I'm gonna take the big underdog tonight, just like I did last night. I'm gonna stay with the underdog. I was wrong last night. I'm gonna be right tonight. Smashville wins 3-2 over the Penguins tonight.
I was exactly gonna say 3-2 Nashville, but I gotta make it different. I'll just go 4-2.
Andy, you gonna take the home team?
I like Nashville 3-2. They've been playing aggressive. They got to limit penalties. They've had a great showing from their goaltender between the pipes. Got to be concise between the blue lines.
You're not even gonna
How
watch
do you not
you're
like
not
the
even gonna
Predators?
watch the game.
I agree with you guys. Go Smashville.
I love it. Good show. We had Coach Johansson, St. George Sentinels coach, joined us. They lose today, but they're playing in the pod in the round robin, and they'll get seeded for a tournament out in Cherry Creek, Colorado. They're 2-2 in preseason play. Of course, American Legion Baseball just getting going. It's kind of interesting. Dixie Pilots have a team. That's great. I love seeing the American Legion summer season have multiple teams from Southern Utah. A lot of baseball talent here in Southern Utah. Also, just heard the Queen Bee, Buzz Time Trivia. Earlier in the show, broke down the finals for you. Enjoy Game 5 tonight. Some Major League Baseball on the docket. Get home, watch some highlights from the first round of the St. Jude's. You got the U.S. Open next week. That'll be good. NASCAR racing this weekend. We'll be in on a Feel Good Friday to talk more local sports. We'll take a quick time out, and then we will get you out to Sports Center. Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much to our sponsors, TDS Cable for Business, One Law, California Custom Golf, Southwest Diesel, SkyWest, Heaven's Best Carpet Cleaning, and Coral Canyon Golf Course. We'll see you.
Construction financing. Cache Valley Bank is in your local community. Our construction financing professionals know the market to help you build your dream home. Here are 4 things you want. 1. Low rates. 2. Flexible terms. 3. Quick and easy closings. And 4. Quick turnaround on draw requests. At Cache Valley Bank, we have what you want.
I'm Chris Parker, construction financing professional. Experience the Cache Valley Bank difference for yourself. Call 435-673-9610.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, St. George, this is Brian Taylor and Bob Casper from Real Golf Radio.
Come check us out Saturday mornings from 6 to 8 for the best golf talk on the radio.
Each week, we'll get you ready for the weekend in golf with interviews from tour players, equipment manufacturers, golf writers, and, of course, America's favorite caddy. We share your passion for the game, so log on to realgolfradio.com.
Tune in Real Golf Radio Saturday mornings from 6 to 8.
Right here on Sports Radio 1210 and 97.7 ESPN.
Presented by Coral Canyon Golf Course and California Custom Golf.
Your choice for sports is Sports Radio 97.7 ESPN from the TDS Cable for Business Studio. KHKR Washington St. George, K74.